Here's the brutal truth about engineering school. They will teach you the technical textbook problems, but they will not prepare you for the real world where you actually need to apply more than just your technical knowledge. I'm a mechanical engineer and I have been working for about 3.5 years. And during that time, I've noticed that the engineer who are really smart in school, who have like a really high GPA, and sometimes they don't end up making the most money or succeed in their job. But the engineer who didn't have a high GPA, but they have something else, some other skill that college didn't teach you. Look, I'm not saying that thermodynamic class and circuits analysis class are useless. They're actually very important to build the foundation knowledge of engineering and teaches you the critical thinking and the logical when it comes to engineering. But if you think about it, when was the last time your boss, your team lead, actually asked you to solve a beam deflection problem by hand or actually calculating the derivative of some equation? The answer is probably never, right? The engineer who makes a lot of money aren't just technically sound, they actually have a different skill set. And most of these skills take way less time to learn than learning thermodynamics. I'm going to make a separate video about what technical skill that mechanical engineering require, but first let's quickly go over the technical skill that different types of engineering require. So for mechanical engineering, you need to be fluent at CAD modeling. And it's not just knowing SolidWorks, it's understanding the manufacturing processes that actually matter in the industry. Plus some basic electrical knowledge, because guess what? Everything is smart now. For electrical engineer, sure, you can learn circuit theory, but can you actually build a PCB that won't fail in production? Do you know how to use the oscilloscope and spectrum analyzer without having a panic attack? And here's the big one, understanding software integration, because hardware without software is just expensive paperweight. For civil engineer, AutoCAD is just the beginning. You need to learn how to use BIM software like Revit, project management tools, and some basic understanding of environmental regulation, because building a pretty bridge means nothing if you can't actually build it legally. But here's where it gets interesting. The engineers who make serious money, they have mastered the soft skill that school completely ignores. The first important skill is the communication skill. I don't mean like writing lab report or writing an email. I mean explaining complex engineering problem to people who think that bandwidth is how wide the internet cable is. When you can translate engineering to human language, you become more valuable. You're not just there to solve problems, you're helping people understanding why your solution matter. That's very valuable to a company. The second skill is project management. Can you keep a project on track while your supplier is late, your teammate is confused, and your deadline just moved up by 2 weeks? This is about juggling chaos and keeping everyone calm. It's like being a technical therapist, it's being the team captain. The third skill is cross-team collaboration. And here's the reality. You will probably spend more time working with people in marketing, in operation than other engineers. At some job, you will probably have to work with engineering who are in different discipline than you. For example, you will see collaboration between mechanical and electrical engineer or computer and software engineer, things like that. Engineering who thrive aren't just technically brilliant. They understand what the business need and they can actually work well with different people who have different personality, different knowledge skill set. The fourth skill set is problem solving beyond equation. School teaches you how to solve problem with known solution, but real engineering, you're often the first person who are facing this exact problem. It's about pattern recognition, creative thinking, and knowing when to break the rule you learn in school. With AI, industry has been transforming the engineering industry this past 5 years. Here is the game changer creating the biggest salary jump right now is AI integration. First of all, you don't need to be a data scientist. You don't need a PhD in machine learning, but understanding how to integrate AI tools into your engineering workflow, that's really valuable. I'm talking about using AI tools for design optimization, predictive maintenance, even just automating the boring part of your job. The second AI skill is prompt engineering. And this might sound fancy, but it's basically just know what question to ask AI to get the result that you want. Whether it's using ChatGPT to debugging or generating technical documentation or brainstorming solution. And lastly, the automation skill set. Engineer who can automate repetitive tasks using AI to speed up design iteration and creating systems that can scale, while others are manually updating their spreadsheet. These engineers are working on bigger problems. Okay, here's an action plan for you, and you don't need to learn everything all at once. Pick one area where you're weak and focusing on improving that for the next 30 days. For example, my weakness is probably explaining technical concept to non-engineers, so I'm focusing on that for the next 30 days. Another example is you can learn basic Python to automate something very tedious in your workflow. Maybe it's understanding how AI can streamline your current project. Engineers who make six figure aren't necessarily are smarter than you. They just spend time to learn the skill that university don't teach you, but the industry desperately needs. If you found this video helpful, share it with your engineering friend who are currently underpaid but they are very brilliant. Maybe they need some change in their career or their skill set. Comment down below what soft skill are you currently working on. And if you don't mind, check out this video where I talk about how to study effectively as an engineering student. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.